it's given Cohen a number of opportunities to make answers that are not helpful to Trump's defense. And I'm sure the lawyers who are experienced, competent counsel would not be doing this except at the orders of Donald Trump.
Now, Donald Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, is back for a third day of testimony at a New York court in the ex-president's hush money trial. The defense has attacked Cohen's credibility as a witness, highlighting his convictions for lying to Congress and other criminal charges. Cohen, who once said he would take a bullet for Trump, testified that he lied out of loyalty and to protect Trump when he was his personal counsel. Let's catch up with events today then with David Cay Johnston, who's an investigative journalist and author. Good evening to you, David.
Hello, Kate. Good to be with you.
So he used to be Trump's right-hand man, and he's obviously turned, in his opinion, of Donald Trump since then. And it's been all about, really, Donald Trump's attorneys trying to discredit Michael Cohen today. Will the answers that they're forcing out of him, the picture that they're forcing Michael Cohen to paint of himself, how much of this do you think will stick?
I don't think that Trump's lawyers are doing well at all. And the same thing is happening here as happened in the writer E. Jean Carroll's second defamation case, the one that resulted in an $83 million award against Trump. Instead of listening to his lawyers and following their advice, Donald is telling his lawyers what to do. And the cross-examination is not going well. Cohen has been able to score a number of points that are not helpful to the defense. And by the way, let's keep in mind, he was prosecuted, Michael Cohen, for the very same facts in this case under a different statute, but he was prosecuted, he went to prison, and that prosecution was brought by the Justice Department under Donald Trump. So Michael Cohen certainly has good reason to feel hostile to his longtime client because Donald Trump got him put in prison.
We heard a recording today, well, we didn't. The court heard a recording of Michael Cohen saying that he truly hopes that Donald Trump ends up in prison. It is clear that he is, biased. Of course he is, after his experiences, biased in his opinion of Donald Trump, that he has an agenda here. But yet you feel that he's performing badly.
Well, I think the defense
is performing badly.
Yeah, I mean, the essence of this, Kate, and while I'm not a lawyer, I'm a professor of law, is that the elements of the crimes that this trial is about have all been established by the prosecution. Michael Cohen was the last witness for the prosecution, and he was brought in then to fill in and give a human side to this. Other witnesses have testified to that Donald Trump knew exactly what he was doing in the payoffs, that its purpose was to corrupt the election results in New York State, that Trump had no regard or concern about his wife, Melania, something he claimed at one point, that he was dismissive of anything about Melania. And so the defense lawyers, instead of asking some questions that would have dinged Michael Cohen in sitting down, instead are going through this extensive and wide-ranging examination, and it's given Cohen a number of opportunities to make answers that are not helpful to Trump's defense. And I'm sure the lawyers who are experienced, competent counsel would not be doing this except at the orders of Donald Trump.
Okay. Trump appeared today to be dozing throughout the interrogation. His eyes were tightly shut, so say the reports that we've seen so far from court today. Is that a bit of a mind game from Donald Trump? Is he genuinely a little bit tired of all this?
Well, I think there's a deeper reason than that, Kate. And remember, I've covered Trump longer than anybody else, more than 36 years. I've written 3 books about him, 3.5 actually. Donald nodding off is about an hour and a half to 2 hours after mealtime. And that would suggest that he may have a blood sugar problem, given his physical inactivity, his weight, and his diet. It would not be at all surprising if he has a significant blood sugar problem, and that's what's causing him to doze off. His lawyers, who had been trying to keep him awake by poking him slightly and handing him notes. They've stopped doing that. They've just
Okay.
given up.
Interesting. Whilst you're with us, I must just get you quickly on the fact that the US president, the current one anyway, Joe Biden's blocked the release of audio recordings from his interviews over the investigation into his handling of classified files. These are notable. Our listeners may remember that these were interviews with Special Counsel Robert Hur, and in them, he called into question Joe Biden's age and memory. He said he was likely to be viewed as a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory, and people jumped on that really as evidence from a very respected counsel that Joe Biden was not cognitively fit enough to be president. But today we've seen Joe Biden manage to block the release of those audio recordings. How did he do it?
Well, I'm always in favor of transparency as an investigative reporter, but I'm not surprised that Biden blocked the release of this material. His concern is that House Republicans will selectively use this material in a dishonest way. And we've seen them do that before. And by the way, what Robert Hur, the special counsel, who was a Republican appointee, did in his characterization was completely outside the rules of the Justice Department. It was absolutely inappropriate. It was a pretty clearly political act. And the day that Hur was to testify to Congress about this, the day before, he resigned from the Justice Department so he would not be subject to its rules during his testimony. And then he testified in a pretty clearly political way.
Yeah, well, the Justice Department released a letter today to Republicans in Congress and said that Mr. Biden has had asserted executive privilege. So that's how he did it. But just an interesting side story to accompany the many trials and tribulations of Donald Trump. Not that it's affecting his polling, of course. We should note that, Donald Trump. Look, it's been great to speak to you. Thank you very much, David Cay Johnston, who's an investigative journalist and author of 2.5 books on Donald Trump. 3.5 even. Thanks for speaking to us. Thank you.
Mr. Cohen, do you think Trump shouldn't get convicted?
Back up.